Hey, what's going on YouTube? Sorry, this video is going out a little later than I expected to. I had some stuff happen, lost power for a little bit this week because there's some crazy weather happening, obviously, in most of the country right now. But today I have a official, definitive soda tier list coming from yours truly. I'm going to put a link to the soda tier list in the description below, so you guys can do it too if you want. And if you could, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on future streams where I do more stuff like this, React content, gaming, just all sorts of stuff, and just future videos in general. You can catch the live streams at Twitch or here on YouTube. That's all I got. Let's get into the video. Music really helps get in the headspace of, you know, a soda rating. So here we are. Here we are, we're going to do a tier list. Alright, I'm done casting white girl spells. I have to pause this music. I'm just gonna keep going. It's so fun. But anyway, here we are for the tier list that I created because I looked at lots of soda tier lists and they were all like, okay, it was weird. They were all bizarre, and they either had like way too many sodas, so many that I'd never heard of, or they would just be like all Mountain Dew, like every single flavor of Mountain Dew, and then like a couple others. It was just that essentially over and over again. So I made my own. And not only did I make my own, I thought about other people, and I included a never had it section. You know, I've had all of these for the most part. So I probably won't really be using that, but it's there in case other people do this. And I tried to cover as many bases as I want while also grabbing some of my favorites. We're going to jump in. I didn't want to do all the diets, but I got a couple of diets in here, but it'll make sense in a second. So we're going to start with Big K Cola, actually. We're going to start with Big K Cola. It's a classic. Big K Cola, I grew up drinking Big K Cola. Lots of the off-brands like Dr. Thunder and Dr. K, all that good stuff. I grew up drinking those a lot, so I'm pretty familiar with this brand. I think it's the Walmart brand. And the cola is not my favorite. It's not my favorite, but it's not horrible. It's either B or C. And I think it's honestly C, because it's not good and it's not bad. And so the way I'm looking at this is like absolutely amazing. This is good. This is all like pretty good. This is all right. This is you know, I'll in an absolute pinch I'll drink it, and this is, dude, no way. I'm not drinking it. Even if it's around, I don't want it. I'm good without it. So I kind of want to do these more generic ones first because they're nostalgic for me. And I don't know, I think a lot of us probably drank them growing up. You know, maybe I'll just start with the ones I grew up drinking. That's kind of hype. That's kind of hype. And then next we got Dr. K. Dr. K is all right. It's pretty good. I don't remember it being too bad. It was all right though. I don't know. I think Dr. K might honestly be, I think Dr. K might be a B, because I'm a huge Dr. Pepper fan. I absolutely love Dr. Pepper. I tend to like anything that's even Dr. Pepper adjacent. That's how much I like it. So I just like that spicy cherry. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I'm all about it. Where's the other one? Dr. Thunder. Now, Dr. Thunder, here it is. This one was the best in my opinion. I remember loving Dr. Thunder. We would get the little mini baby cans of Dr. Thunder, and I would kill those things throughout the day, you know, playing Halo 2 and Halo 3 in the basement, you know, on the Xbox 360, just chugging those. And I remember one time, this is a completely random story, but I remember one time So we had this like room with a bunk bed in it, and that's where me and my brother slept. And then next to that room was like an unfinished part of the basement where we had a couch, a TV, and that was kind of where we had a gaming. There was a door separating these, some French door separating these areas. No, it was actually just a curtain, I think. It was French doors on one side that went into the computer room and then upstairs, and then just curtains. It was a condo. But anyway, sometimes we would sleep on that couch, and we had a Fat Sack, a brand name Fat Sack. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Fat Sacks, but they're amazing. They are absolutely giant bean bags, like for full-size people. You could sleep on this thing, dude. It was huge, and it was incredibly comfortable, but also probably really gross. And they were great though, and we would sleep in there a lot. And I remember one time we woke up in the middle of the night to my cat, who actually my childhood cat, she died fairly recently. They both did. It was very sad, but they were really old. But we woke up in the middle of the night to these crazy noises, and our cat was just like flailing and jumping and like making awful noises constantly. And what had happened was the power cord, which I don't know if you guys remember, on the Xbox 360, it had a big fat power supply brick. Somehow it was like lassoed in a way where as she went through it, it like noosed and tightened as she pulled. So like it was squeezing her incredibly tight, and she was in pain, and she was like flailing, and we woke up to that, and then she just took off running, yanked the power supply out of the Xbox and the wall, and just was like running through the house, smacking this power supply around. Eventually my parents got her, but I think she had to go to the vet afterwards too, because it like squeezed her really bad. I remember it was like a little traumatic. Like it was like loud, it was sudden, it was weird. I don't know why I'm thinking about that. It's just the room I drank a lot of Dr. Thunder in. But anyway, Dr. Thunder is really good. I'm going to put it in an A because I like Dr. Thunder. Bad memory aside. Another thing I grew up drinking up was New Way root beer. New Way root beer. New Way is a small restaurant in Wichita, Kansas, my hometown. I think there's only 1 or 2 locations left there, and they have their own homemade root beer, and they have root beer floats, and they're really, really freaking good, dude. This root beer is insane. It's actually the greatest root beer I've ever had in my life, and maybe I'm just hyping it up because I haven't had it in years. I don't think I've had it since the last funeral we had in Wichita, which I think would have been my grandpa. I think that was the last time I had New Way. But that aside, New Way root beer is absolutely amazing. I feel bad for everyone who's never going to have it or never tried it. It's so good. It's so good. You should really, do it. You should do it. I don't know if you can order it online. If you can, you should do that. And if you can't, if you're ever even remotely in the area of Wichita, and I mean like pretty close to the area, you should go there, and you should go to the original Freddy's location, because the original Freddy's frozen custard, that started in Wichita, Kansas. So did Pizza Hut. You should go to, I don't know if the original Pizza Hut's still there, but the original Freddy's is, and you should go there. You should check it out. Hey, it's not super special. It's kind of special. I don't know. It's special to me. I don't think it'd be special to anyone else, though. My high school, the first high school I went to, actually did radio shows from Freddy's every Friday. If you can, like, it was so weird. Like, you would go in, and there'd be a table with people with headphones and microphones, and they would just be doing the radio for a high school, or like it was mostly themed around high school sports, from Freddy's in the lobby. And everyone was just chill with it. No one bothered them. I mean, they weren't like celebrities or anything. I don't know. It was really weird. But what's something else I grew? Oh, root beer. I loved root beer as a kid. Okay, before I was a Dr. Pepper fiend, me and all my siblings actually loved Dr. Pepper too, but for some reason, and much to probably the benefit of my parents, we loved and were obsessed with root beer, like so much. And it didn't even have caffeine in it, which is ideal. It had sugar, which isn't great still, but it had no caffeine, which is certainly ideal for a child to be drinking as opposed to something full of caffeine. And A&W was definitely one of my favorites. I would say A&W. That's tough. So A&W is like guaranteed B, absolutely an A if we're talking about involving ice cream. Yeah, I think I think it's gonna go A, just because, like, if I have a root beer float, I want it to be A and W over all of the root beers. That's the one I want, if I can pick. That being said, I don't really like the A and W restaurant. Not a huge fan of it, but I also don't like Long John Silver's, and you usually have to put up with one if you're going to eat at the other. So there's that. Mug root beer, I think, is a solid B. And then Barks, I'm gonna say is C. Just kind of went through those real quick. Barks, root beer is great. It's fine. But actually, you know what? No. Yeah. No, I'm going to stand with that. I was going to say, I kind of like how Barks isn't as sweet, but at the same time, I don't know. This is how I feel. I do feel like Barks is my least favorite of the three. So that's where I'm going to go with that. And then next thing I had a lot as a kid, ginger ale. My grandma liked ginger ale a lot. We always had bottles, 2 liters of Canada Dry ginger ale around. And I actually think it's pretty good. I don't know if that's a hot take or not. I don't feel like I see other people drinking it a lot. Maybe people use it as mixers. I feel like that's what she did, or that's what other people did with it. I don't know if my grandma actually drank, though, when I think about it. I think she had virgin drinks. Like, she would just make drinks without the alcohol. I can't really remember. But I think ginger ale is actually pretty good. I'm going to give it a solid B. A solid B? Yeah, I'm going to give it a solid B. And ginger's actually so good. Like ginger root, it's good if you have like a tummy ache. And motion sickness can kind of help with that because it eases, well, I guess the same thing. It just eases the nausea. Something else I had a lot as a kid, Fresca. Fresca is I think Fresca is honestly D. Like, in an absolute pinch, no, Fresca's an F. I don't even think I'd have it anymore. As a kid, I would have it in a pinch a lot, but honest to God, I think I would turn down Fresca nowadays. If I was someone who drank alcohol, I would maybe use Fresca as a mixer, but I don't think I'm interested in drinking it ever again, if I'm being honest. I don't even like the bottle. Even just seeing the bottle irritates me a little. Like, I don't like, it's like this cross between Sprite and Baja Blast that I don't understand in terms of color. And what is going on there, man? What's going on? Something else I had a lot as a kid, Fanta drinks, but only 3. We only ever had 3. We had grape, strawberry, and orange. And I'm going to make some people mad here for sure, because I think strawberry soda is actually really good. It's too sweet for me nowadays, but if I want it, it is really good. Honestly, I haven't had any Fantas in a long time. If I ever get Fantas nowadays, I usually get orange because it's like the easiest one to find. But Fanta is so sweet. I just feel like it's got so much sugar, and it probably does. I think it's more of like a child soda. Or not, I don't think it's for children, but I think it's marketable towards children and is marketed towards children more so than other sodas, if that makes sense. But I'm going to say Fanta is... Yeah, I'm going to put you there because I love me some strawberry. I'm going to put orange. Yeah. And then grape is something like I'll take it if it's around for sure, but I'm not going to go for it. I think that is how it's going to play out. But I'm a big fan of strawberry. I like the strawberry flavor. I'm not a huge fan of the artificial strawberry in this one. Like, it kind of sometimes can have like an aftertaste, almost like medicine or something. But I don't know. I just remember really liking the strawberry one and always being happy whenever we had those 2 liters around. That was something I drank on my mom's side. And then what else did I drink a lot as a child? Mountain Dew. I was a big fan of Mountain Dew as a kid. I used to be obsessed with Mountain Dew. I used to drink every of the Mountain Dew that I could, several cans a day, and it's disgusting to me now. Mountain Dew, honest to God, now for me is an F. It's an absolute F, and I'll tell you why. It is so sugary that when I drink Mountain Dew, I actually feel like it's acid on my teeth. And I know all of these are, especially Coca-Cola with how much sugar it has. But for some reason, I don't know if it's the color of Mountain Dew or if it's how much I used to drink it as a kid and the memories of that. But when I get Mountain Dew in my mouth, it's every now and then. I was actually just talking to my stepdad about this. Every now and then, very rarely, I'll think, ooh, I want some Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew sounds good. I'll open a can and I'll take like a couple sips. I can't even finish the can, dude. It's so bad. Like it's just so much sugar. And the other thing that's different now is when I was a kid, all of these had less sugars. All of them. Look at this. Sugar. Okay, actually no. I have to put in high fructose corn syrup in soda over time. Okay, so this is just all about the switch over. Okay. Sugar increase in soda over time. Maybe I can find a graph. Okay, well, single-sided servings. Yeah, we all know, we're all kind of familiar with the single-sided servings, 6.5, 12, 20, 42, in terms of those going up and getting bigger and bigger. But there was, ooh, this is interesting. Ah, Fanta is super sugary. I knew it. But the amount of sugar in sodas has gone up drastically over time, and no one's ever complained about sodas being, you know, not sweet enough. And I remember when I learned that, I was like, what is happening? The decline of big soda. That's funny. 13 ways sugar. Okay, I'm having a hard time finding it now. And maybe that's not as true as I remember it being, because I'm not being able to find anything about it right now, but I swear that's a thing. But I don't know. So maybe don't take that as fact right now. What else did I have as a kid a lot? I had Pib a lot. Pib Extra a lot. And I don't know why, but Mr. Pibb gives me a stomachache if it's in a bottle. That always seems to be a thing. If I drink it and it's from a bottle, I will get a tummy ache. It's happened like twice now, and I won't do it again. But if it's from the fountain, I like it. It's good enough. So I'll say Pibb is a... I'll say Pibb's a B. Pibb's a B. Gets a B for me. Solid B. And then what do we got? Let's do Sprite. Sprite's one of those drinks, when you want a Sprite and you get a Sprite, oh my god, it is literally the greatest drink ever. And everyone and their dog knows that McDonald's Sprite slaps like no one ever could. It's so good. So I think Sprite, for those reasons, I don't want it often, but when I do want it, it hits so hard, and I think that makes it an A. Another caffeine-free soda. That's kind of interesting. That I liked a lot as a kid, honestly. Sometimes I would get Sprite for my dinner, which that probably isn't that crazy at all, but it is to me, because I'm usually a dark soda person. And I think Sierra Mist I haven't had in a long time, but I remember it being pretty good. I remember liking Sierra Mist a lot when my dad was the regional manager of some KFCs in town, and we would spend all day at KFC. My dad, when we weren't, dude, this is such a weird part of my childhood. This is also why I had trouble relating to people as a child. There were so many times when, like, my dad wouldn't have nowhere to take us or leave us, or just couldn't find a sitter, or didn't find a sitter, more likely, just never called anyone. And so he would just take us to his job, and we would just sit in the lobby for like 10 hours while he worked as just random children in the lobby. It was incredible. Sometimes we would help work a little, you know, in ways that we could around the restaurant, in like a Bob's Burgers style fashion, but it's a fucking KFC. I just remember playing a lot of Pokemon, drinking a lot of soda, and eating a lot of chicken. I have vivid memories of using a greasy thumb to wipe grease off my Game Boy Advance, you know, while I'm playing Ruby and Sapphire for a unhealthy amount of time. And then constantly just begging my dad, you know, just like, are there any batteries? Are there any batteries in this KFC? Because my Game Boy's dying, man. My Game Boy's dying and you have 4 hours left here. There's no way. There's no way. Just absolutely insane. But Sierra Mist, I remember being pretty good back then. I'm going to give it a B. I don't remember much about it. I'll be honest. It's been a while since I had it. I probably need to sample it back again. Now we're going to go Pepsi. Pepsi's one of those ones, it's really good when I want it. I almost never want it. And I almost usually turn it down. So I think Pepsi is going to get a C from me. The only thing that keeps it from being D... Yeah, the only thing that keeps it from being D is the fact that on the rare occasion that I want it, it's really good. Like, really good. And then, what else we got? What else we got? We'll do... We'll do 7-Up. 7-Up, I don't remember anything about 7-Up, honestly. I don't remember, like, thinking anything of it, really. I think it's probably fine. I'm just gonna put C. Because if I'm assuming, and I kind of remember it being very similar to Sprite and Sierra Mist, and those are all fine with me. But I remember Sierra Mist, I remember liking this one more, and going for this more than I ever went for that. So I think that's how it's going to play out. And then we got Coca-Cola. Let's do regular Coca-Cola. Regular Coca-Cola, when I want a Coca-Cola and I get a Coca-Cola, it's amazing. I've been trying to avoid getting Coca-Cola lately. There's an active boycott going on there, and I am participating in that. Or trying to. I'm participating in kind of a lot of boycotts right now. And I know people think it's stupid, but it's some of the only power we have in capitalism. So this is how I choose to try and take some power back. Other people can do whatever the hell they want. That's all I'm going to say about that. But, anyway, Coca-Cola is really good when I want it. I think it's probably going to be... I think it's probably going to be an A for me. Because I do get the craving for a Coke more often than I do Pepsi. And by quite a bit, actually. Let's get LaCroix out of the way. LaCroix is gross. I don't like it. It's not that good. If I'm absolutely desperate, I'll have it. Absolutely desperate. But I'm not really a carbonated water sort of person. I want to be because I know it's healthier, and I'm trying to force myself to get there. But and if you would have asked me this question like 3 months ago, this would have been an F, maybe a little longer. But if you would asked me a while back, this would have been an absolute F. No way in my life. But nowadays, I will actually drink through one because I'm like, you know what? I need to try and adjust to this. The next thing we're gonna do is Diet Coke, and Diet Coke is awful. I actually think all diet soda is awful. But Diet Coke awful mostly because aspartame. I can taste that sweet aspartame taste. I hate it. I hate the aspartame aftertaste. I guess some people like it. I think it's the worst thing ever. I think it's so gross. I don't know how people actually become addicted to it or love it. It's bizarre to me. So it's an F. It's not even a question. A Diet Dr. Pepper, even though it's Dr. Pepper, my favorite drink, that's still an F. Because believe it or not, you get the same awful aspartame flavor with every diet soda I've ever had. I've never had one. Coke Zero, aspartame. Like, it doesn't matter how they rebranded the diet. I always taste that god-awful flavor, and I can't stand it at all. It's so bad. We were talking about Dr. Pepper, so I'm just going to go ahead and do Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is, it's S tier. Honestly, it's S tier because I will always take it. I will literally always take it if it's an option. I almost wish there was a tier above this. You know what? Actually, no. This is A tier. This is A tier. It has to be A tier because Dr. Pepper with sugar is S tier, and Coca-Cola with sugar, Mexican Coke as it's known here in the States, these are S tier drinks. They use actual sugar. This is homemade root beer. It's really good. These are S tier drinks. They are absolutely amazing. Just, it's not even comparable. The way this tastes compared to the way this tastes, especially because you're talking more than likely aluminum can, for me at least, which not great, compared to glass bottle, you know, it's insane. It's insane. It's not even a conversation. And Mexican Coke is so good. So good. I actually buy it kind of regularly, or I used to. Haven't bought it in a while, but I used to get it like every now and then at the store. Just buy a little 4-pack. Treat myself to it throughout the week. We'll do Cherry Pepsi next. Cherry Pepsi is better than Pepsi in my opinion. I like the wild cherry. Sorry, it's wild cherry Pepsi. I need to remember that. And I'm a big fan. I will take a cherry Pepsi. I'm happy to take one. So that's a B for me. Baja Blast. The claim to fame for Taco Bell. I know I said I hate Mountain Dew, but I actually kind of like Baja Blast. I don't know why. For some reason, even though it's still pretty sugary, it comes off less sugary than Mountain Dew. This is why sometimes I think maybe it's the color of Mountain Dew, but that's also kind of the color of Sierra Mist and or 7-Up, and it doesn't bother me as much there. Maybe because they're upfront about the lemon lime thing. I don't know. But Baja Blast is a C. I won't always take it, but when I want it and I take it, I'm really glad I did. And for whatever reason, it pairs really well with Taco Bell. I don't really know what that's about. Scientists really got together on that one and cracked the code. Next, we'll do Coca-Cola, vanilla Coca-Cola. Vanilla Coke is really sweet, but when I want it, it's absolutely amazing. That's a solid B for me. Yeah, I grew up drinking a lot of vanilla Coke. My dad liked to drink a lot of vanilla Coke. So we would, you know, be sipping off his drink sometimes, and so I think I got used to it there. He would also buy bottles of it sometimes. He was a real big fan of vanilla Coke. He really liked the sweet. That whole family, honestly, they like sweet things, sweet tooths, and I certainly have some of that as a degree. My grandpa had it, my dad had it, most of his siblings had it. It's insane, actually, now I think about it. I don't know that I've ever really put that together until now, but yeah, so definitely like some vanilla Coke in my life. Cherry Coke is not that good to me. It's a C. I'll take it, but it's not that great. You know, it's actually, you know what? It might even be a D. Cause I will take it if there's nothing else, you know, but I'd really rather not. I'm not a big fan of it. But Dr. Pepper Cherry, on the other hand, that's actually a pretty good drink. That goes back up to B. You know, I'm probably going to go Dr. Pepper over Dr. Pepper Cherry, but every now and then I get a Dr. Pepper Cherry, and I'm glad I did because I like the cherry. I like that spicy cherry. So you'd think I'd like the Coca-Cola cherry, but I don't for whatever reason. Next, we got Jarritos, specifically the mandarin flavor because it's the only one I ever really drank. These are really good, honestly. I don't buy them a lot, but when I buy them, I'm glad I did. I've only ever had the mandarin flavor. I need to try more flavors. And it was a roommate of mine who actually got me into Jarritos. I'd seen them around and stuff and been to a couple parties as a kid where they were around and, you know, had them there. But, like, I never really got into drinking them sort of regularly until I lived with a person who knew where there was this little store called La Tienda. It was like a little Hispanic store. They had lots of different ingredients and foods that, you know, Hispanic families use a lot. It was like I don't know. It was weird, especially in Kansas, to find a store like this. But they had flats. Actual flats of Jarritos, so you could buy like a lot of them and of all one flavor, and you could like order through the store. You could be like, oh, I'd like to get this flavor of Jarritos, and they'd be like, okay, yeah, we'll order them. It was like a very cool store, and they're really good. I like them. So that's where that goes. And then the last soda, and then we have the official tier list for soda. It's done by me. It's Cheerwine, and Cheerwine is an S tier soda. It's the greatest soda. I don't even know if people are super familiar with Cheerwine. It's like a cherry soda. Like I said, I love the spicy cherry. It's like a cherry soda that I never had until there was a glass bottle soda shop in Lawrence, Kansas when I lived there. It's probably still there. And I would go there kind of a lot. It was like an emporium of sodas. It wasn't that huge of a store, but they had like cucumber soda, banana soda, bacon soda, every soda you could possibly think of, you know, clove sodas, which were really good actually. And Cheer wine. I discovered Cheer wine there, and it's so good, dude. And I remember they had this crazy device. One, they had a Nintendo 64 with a big screen and Mario Kart going all the time. Sometimes it was Smash Bros, most of the time it was Mario Kart. So there would always just be people sitting at the bar drinking sodas playing a 64, which is so Lawrence, Kansas, it's crazy, but also it was just such a vibe as soon as you walk in. And they also, in addition to having just like shelves full of glass bottles everywhere, they have like this weird soda chiller. So you'd pick out your sodas, you'd create your own 6-pack or 4-pack if you wanted to, and you take it to them, and they'd like put your soda in this weird contraption, and it would like spin it in a way, but not too fast. And it was spinning it in like ice or in ice water. I don't really know how it worked, but it would take a room temperature soda and make it like fridge cold in like 15 seconds. And then I would walk down to that area of town, go to the soda shop, buy my sodas, and then I would walk home drinking a soda. It was such a vibe, dude. It was such a vibe. But this is it. This is the tier list of sodas. I put a link to this soda tier list in the description of this stream on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it there. You could do this too, and I would like other people to do it. I don't know that. Do I have to save or download? Okay, log in to save. Okay. Title of tier list: half pints. Wow, no. All right, yep, that's what it's called. Oh my god, I accidentally hit enter. That's classic. Oh man, I hope no one laughs at me. This is it. This is definitively the list though. This is how it shakes down. And I think anyone who disagrees is just misinformed and woefully ignorant and wrong. Probably should go to jail even. Actually, yes, you should go to jail. It's not even a probably. I know that. So this is it. Other people should take the tier list, do the tier list. I don't know how you phrase that, but do it. Let's see how we all compare. I don't think anyone's done this so far because there's like 1 billion of these. Pretty sure. Boom. Yeah. I'm the only person who's done it. That's fine. That's fine. Other people will do it soon. That's for sure.